And on behalf of the park and myself and the staff, we thank you very much again for working with us for today's church call. And it really means a lot to the interpretive opportunities that this weekend's event brings. And we're very grateful for your continued support with our ideas and endeavors. And we're glad that you appreciate it as well. With that being said, though, I am going to follow suit and do a little time warp myself in that this is the last day of March in 1862, and as you see before me, I see many familiar faces that I've seen before, and with the arrival of the Army of the Potomac, many new ones as well. For those of you who may not know me, I am the Post Ordnance Sergeant John Livers. I am here on behalf of the Post Commander, Major Roberts of the 4th U.S. Artillery. He asked me to bring his regards and a few remarks on his behalf this morning, if you will indulge me, and the Major. As you are plainly aware, there is great change and action that has been witnessed here over the past several months, and this month specifically, with the great Battle of the Hampton Roads, in the waters just off of Fortress Monroe that many of us had witnessed from the fort's walls. You will see that on the 8th and 9th instant, these great two impressively ironclad vessels collided for a period of 2 days to ultimately a stalemate. I can even see a few of those men present with us here. Late of that action amongst us this morning would be notably the men of the 99th New York Volunteer Infantry Regiment, of which 3 companies had been taken and were serving aboard the USS Congress in that action, having their regular crew having been released and needing manpower. And they performed admirably during that action and taking some losses in that engagement. We have such reported from the naval forces here at the North Atlantic Fleet headquarters here at Fortress Monroe that there was a total rebel loss said to be 9 killed, 12 wounded, and 23 captured in that action taken over to Norfolk across the way. No doubt we all have felt the presence and impact of this current preparations that are undergoing for the upcoming campaign. The receipt of some 120,000 men of the Army of the Potomac under the command of Major General George McClellan, whom I happen to see present. Thank you very much for joining us with his wife. General, we appreciate to have you with us and your command. This great struggle that we are now engaged is to a higher power and purpose. The message to Congress that the U.S. onslaught to the U.S. ought, to cooperate with any state which may adopt a gradual abolition of slavery. To the gradual abolition of slavery, and that first, the Union must be preserved, and hence all indispensable means must be employed. To further proposals in his recommendation and support for these sentiments, President Lincoln has expressed that on the 17th of June, 1858, in his address, that I believe this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free. I know we all keep the President and his wife in our hearts over the loss of his son, William, recently after a 90-hour delirium. And we look forward to what is to come, and perhaps share with some closing words from the General with his permission from his recent order and address to the Army of the Potomac from the 14th of March instant, in which he says in his orders issued from Fairfax Courthouse that soldiers of the Army of the Potomac, for a long time I have kept you inactive. You were to be disciplined, armed, and instructed. The formidable artillery that you now have had to be created. Other armies were to move and accomplish certain results. I have held you back that you might give the death blow to the rebellion. That has distracted our once happy country. The patience that you have shown and your confidence in your general are worth a dozen victories. These preliminary results have now been accomplished, and I feel that the patient labors of many months have produced their fruit. The Army of the Potomac is now a real army, magnificent in material, admirable in discipline and instruction, and excellently equipped and armed. Your commanders are all that I could wish, and the moment for action has arrived. I know that I can trust in you to save our country. As I ride forth through your ranks, I see in your faces the sure prestige of victory. We'll do whatever I ask of you. The period of inaction has passed. I will bring you now face to face with the rebels, and only pray that God may defend the right. In whatever direction you may move, however strange my actions may appear to you, ever bear in mind that my fate is linked with yours, and that all I do is to bring you where I know you wish to be, on the decisive battlefield. It is my business to place you there. I shall demand of you great heroic exertions, rapid and long marches, desperate combats, privations perhaps. We will share all these together. And when this sad war is over, we will all return to our homes and feel that we can ask no higher honor than the proud consciousness that we belonged to the Army of the Potomac. We wish them all Godspeed and success on to Richmond and willing the end of the war. Thank you very much.